Okay, this is your personal video from me about taking notes. And this is my biology notebook, and I wrote biology on it because, obviously. And right here on this one, I didn't even do that doodle, Avani did. I wrote my name in the front, and then this is my table of contents. And I did it in the front because it's better to do it, like, in the front and then just add paper so that you don't waste paper, like saving, like, 5 sheets of paper in the front or something. So it starts, like, way over here. And then I kept it going. I never write the dates because I think that's just annoying. And then it starts on page 132. And then in the beginning, I did it really, I don't like how I did in the beginning because I used like a really light green color and you can't really see it that well. And then and in the beginning I didn't do essential questions or side questions that much. And then you have to glue in everything, you little rat. And then you have to label those ones too on the sides. And then these ones, like, I would just glue things on top, like on the sides to flip so I wouldn't waste like an entire paper or something. And then it took me a while to actually start doing my notes though. Let's see where it starts. Here it starts good. Look at how pretty that looks. I really like it. Like, the essential question I would do in a different highlighter color. The essential question and the summary are a different highlighter color than like everything else. Cause look, and then I would do these like pen colors. They don't really mean anything. I just like to do that so it doesn't look like just like a green blob. And then also so you're not highlighting every single little thing, because then it just looks like you went highlighter happy. Then the summary is in highlighter, and the bell ringers don't really go in a section because they're like kind of like drifting into nothingness. Then I don't think I did it here, but I would usually do the date in the corner and like annotating any notes, any like things that they gave me, like any pictures. Because I'm pretty sure we did that in class, but I added some of it like at home. And those are assignments that I glued in. And then like for vocabulary words, I would never highlight the word. I would just write the word in a different color, and then write the definition all in like black, and then highlight like the like main points of the definition, like the things that are like this keyword to remember this or whatever. That way it's easier, and it just doesn't look like a line of like what's it called, of just highlighter. Because then like your brain just kind of goes like there's way too much highlighter, and you kind of like it's pointless because it like destroys the purpose of even highlighting anything. And then it's like pretty much consistent and the same like throughout most of it, except the part that I showed you earlier where it goes pink. Because like look, I started with green, and then my highlighter ran out in like the middle of taking notes, so I had to switch it. And then I think originally I did it with a yellow highlighter, but then I didn't really like it that much because I do the essential question in yellow and I need to do it in a different one. So I like went over it with pink, except I didn't like that at all. So, but I had to do that for a while because I didn't have any other highlighter. And then I got my green highlighter back, and then it looked pretty again. And then I just kept that going. Like, you can see, like, it keeps going. Like, you can't just stop. And about the essential question, the teacher isn't always going to put an essential question. Like, almost never they put it. And then almost always the essential question is, like, really long and really stupid. It, like, doesn't make any sense. So usually I write, like, the title, and then I leave, like a couple spaces. And then I do on my notes. And then at the end of a section, I go and, like, I write a little question of, like, what it was saying. And, like, the purpose of that is, like, and also, like, the side questions, the purpose of going back and doing your central question, going back and doing the side questions, and going back and doing your summary is it kind of forces you to look at your notes again. Like, even if it's not necessarily like I would use these to study, but it would force me to like look at this little section and to come up with a question about it. And like I would kind of be like studying. Also, the way you chunk, like obviously, like you have to chunk. You can't have like, this is like pretty small. This is like a pretty good size to chunk something. Like, it's better that way because then you, like, kind of separate everything into, like, things. Like, I would, like, the way I would look for stuff, like, information, like, okay, so the human reproduction system, and then I would be, like, okay, like, looking down the sides to find, like, a specific topic or whatever. And, like, okay, say, female reproductive system, and then I would go, and then you could be, like, oh, egg cells, and then whatever. And then it kind of, like, goes into subsections from the side to, like, this little, like vocabulary word or whatever to like the actual information to like the keywords that are highlighted. And some teachers, like my Avid teacher, would tell me to highlight like vocabulary words in one color and definitions in one color and this and that color, but that just bothers me, like personally. Like, I don't like all the different colors kind of mixing and meshing, and it feels like you're just at your desk with like a shit ton of highlighters, and that's like pointless, and you're just gonna be like stressing out, and then I feel like your entire notes are just gonna look like a rainbow and just gonna look highlighter happy. Like, you're not gonna be actually paying attention to what it is. For me personally, at least. I don't know if there's some people that personally like to like highlight vocabulary words in one color. And then here, like, it ends, like literally my notes end, and it ended on page 132. Actually, no, lies. My notes did not end here. This is just like my notebook started running out of room, I think. So I moved on to a different notebook. This is my other biology notebook. And on this one, I started table of contents again, except I left off, because on the other one, I left off on 132. This one, I started off with 133. And on this one, I did the same, like, format or whatever, just to kind of keep the consistency. And, like, see, like, the pictures, I glue them with what's going on. Like, you don't stock up things and, like, wait or tell yourself, oh, I'm going to glue it in later, because you're never going to glue it in later. Like, if you can't glue it in right then and there in class, just kind of leave a space, like a small space, and then, like, glue it in later. Also, like this one, like, our teacher gave us this, and she told us it will most likely be on an EOC. So I wrote it will most likely be in an EOC, and I highlighted it, or I traced it with highlighter, so, like, I would remember or whatever. And then that's it. And then this one just kind of went on until, like, literally, I kept it going throughout until the last, oh, here it started with a different, like, green highlighter, like a weird green, and it kind of bothered me, but, like, not as much. And then the green changed here. I liked this green better. I sound a bit crazy, but it's a thing. And then sometimes, like, the same question might, like, refer to, like, all this, because, like, all this ended up being the same section, except I, like, kept accidentally chunking it because I thought, like, that would be over. Except this is, like, the process, and this is, like the definition, this is the process again. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter, like, as long as you write it down. And, like, here, like, it'd just be, like, the continuation. And then over here, the traits continue from down here, because it's, like, a tiny little thing. And then, yeah, and then, like, the pictures, just kind of, like, I'd, like, link them, or, like, be like, okay, this belongs with this, or this has to do with that. And then it just, like, that one, too, like, this, or not, this picture had to do with that definition, this picture had to do with that definition, and this picture had to do with that definition. The crazy arrows only happened because I just kind of glued them, and then later on I went back to, like, check what it was, and then, like, okay, this is a review that she gave us, right? And I just glued it here at the end of the section to kind of, like, have, like, as a little, like, review. Like, don't throw that stuff away. Why didn't I highlight that? Oh my gosh. I don't have a yellow highlighter right now, but it's driving me crazy. Okay, wait. I'm going to get a yellow highlighter. Excuse me as we find a yellow highlighter. Quick. Emergency real fast. I don't know why I didn't do that. I'm so disappointed in myself. Okay, there. It's okay now. It's okay. All is well. Also, oh, you know why I didn't highlight that? What the fuck? Who the fuck? You know why I did? Because this is the last thing that we ever did. What even is that? Yeah, this is the last thing we ever did in this notebook, so that's why I just never went back to look at it. So I never highlighted that. Like, see, like, without me highlighting that, that's basically how my notes look. Like, that's how I take them, like, during class. Like, I just do the different pens, and I highlight, and I glue in. That's only because the teacher gives us time most of the time. But, like, I don't ignore that. I don't do the summary during class, and I don't do the side questions during class, because those are meant for you to go back later. And this bothers me so much. I don't know who wrote that. Brickleberry. I have no idea. Or, what does it even say? I don't even know. But, yeah, that's it. And then it ended on page 187. And I like to, I have a weird thing about the page numbers, because it's kind of, like, cool to see, like, how much, like, you went by. And these are, like, big sheets of paper. Like, look, that's, like, a pretty big sheet of paper. So it's satisfying. Also, like, I write pretty big on my notes. So, like, that might have to do with it. Also, there's a lot of pictures in here. But, like, look at this. Like, this is, like, the worst that it got messed up. Just this came off. It's a 5-star one, but, like, it just kind of came off. But that's, like, the worst it ever got ruined. The only thing is that with these ones, since it's like that, I don't know if it's in the beginning of this one. I don't know. Oh, like this one, you can't really see, but the page came out, you can kind of see. The page came out, so I just, like, taped it back in. Like, that's what you have to do. You can't just kind of, like, stuff them back into random order. And also the page numbers help, so in case it falls out, you kind of know where it was meant to be. And that's the end of your personal video by me, Ariana Redondo. You're welcome. Bye.